Hey everyone! If you are planning to enter China medical device market, then you've probably heard this advice many times. Use Hong Kong as a gateway to China. But what does that actually mean? Is it really faster? Is it easier? Does it reduce regulatory burden? Or is it just a misunderstanding that leads companies into expensive delays? Because many manufacturers assume if we register in Hong Kong, China entry becomes automatic. But the reality is very different. In Hong Kong and under Medical Device Administrative Control System, there is no automatic regulatory transfer into China's system. Instead, Hong Kong acts as a commercial bridge, a documentation validation hub, a distributor access point, a credibility enhancer, but not a regulatory shortcut into China. And this misunderstanding causes serious problems like failed China registration attempts, rejected NMPA submissions, rework of entire technical files, lost distributor confidence, delayed market entry by 1 to 3 years. So in this complete guide, we will break down how Hong Kong fits into China entry strategy, step-by-step regulatory pathway into China via Hong Kong, what MDACS does and does not do for China entry, China regulatory expectations explained simply, timeline breakdown, cost structure, very important, documents required, common mistakes with real-world examples, distributor strategy, clinical data alignment issues, technical documentation gaps, smart sequencing strategy. Let's begin. Part 1. Understanding the real relationship between Hong Kong and China. First, we need to clear a major misconception. Hong Kong is not equal to China. Regulatory shortcut. Even though Hong Kong is part of China politically, its regulatory system is separate. China follows National Medical Products Administration (NMPA) system, while Hong Kong follows MDACS framework. So, different documentation expectations, different classification systems, different clinical requirements, different submission formats. Key insight: Hong Kong does not replace China registration. It only supports it indirectly. So why do companies use Hong Kong? Because Hong Kong offers faster market entry, international credibility, distributor network access, documentation preparation advantage. Example: a manufacturer used Hong Kong approval to strengthen China distributor discussions. Result: faster commercial interest, but still required full NMPA registration. Key insight: Hong Kong helps commercially but not regulatorily. Part 2. How Hong Kong supports China market entry. Support Function 1. Documentation Refinement Hub. Hong Kong submission helps standardize technical documentation, identify gaps early, improve quality of dossier. Mistake: thinking MDACS file equals NMPA file. Reality: China requires separate format, additional clinical justification, local testing requirements. Support Function 2. Distributor validation. Chinese distributors often prefer proven regulatory history, international approvals, Hong Kong market presence. Example: device with Hong Kong presence received stronger distributor engagement in China. Support Function 3. Clinical data alignment. Hong Kong documentation helps identify clinical evidence gaps, risk classification issues, Safety justification weaknesses, but China requires stricter clinical validation in many cases. Support function 4. Regulatory risk reduction. Hong Kong submission helps reduce early-stage errors, improve technical consistency, strengthen global compliance posture. Part 3. Step-by-step strategy for China entry via Hong Kong. Step 1. Hong Kong regulatory preparation. Before China entry, complete MDACS file, validate technical documentation, align labeling consistency. Mistake: using incomplete Hong Kong submission as China foundation. Fix: treat Hong Kong file as preparation layer, not final submission. Step 2. Device classification alignment. HK versus China. China classification is stricter. You must analyze risk level differences, intended use interpretation, product category alignment. Example: device classified low risk in Hong Kong was considered moderate risk in China. Result: additional testing required. Mistake: assuming classification systems are identical. Fix: perform dual classification mapping. Step 3. Gap analysis for NMPA requirements. Check: clinical data gaps, testing differences, labeling mismatch, technical file structure differences. Example: CE and Hong Kong data lacked China-specific clinical justification. Result: extended review cycle. Mistake: skipping China-specific gap analysis. Fix: always perform NMPA readiness assessment. Step 4. Clinical data alignment. China may require local clinical trials in some cases, stronger comparative data, expanded safety justification. Mistake: relying only on FDA/CE clinical data. Fix: supplement global data with China-specific expectations. Step 5. Distributor and local agent strategy. China requires local legal entity or agent, strong importer coordination, regulatory submission support. Mistake: choosing distributor before regulatory strategy. Fix: align regulatory and commercial planning together. Part 4. Documents required. Core documents: device description, intended use, risk management file, clinical evaluation report, test reports, manufacturing certifications, China-specific additions, NMPA application forms, local testing reports if required, Chinese labeling files, agent authorization documents, common document errors, inconsistent product claims, missing translation accuracy, outdated test reports, misaligned labeling. Key insight: China submission requires deeper localization than Hong Kong. Part 5. Timeline breakdown. Hong Kong. Stage 3 to 12 months. China. NMPA. Stage 6 to 24 months, depending on device class. Total strategy timeline: 9 to 36 months. Combined strategy. Delay factors: missing clinical data, poor classification alignment, weak documentation adaptation, testing requirements. Key insight: Hong Kong reduces preparation time, but China determines final timeline. Part 6. Cost breakdown. Direct costs. Hong Kong submission costs, China registration fees, testing costs, translation and localization, agent fees, hidden costs, retesting for China, document rework, extended timelines, distributor delays, lost market entry opportunity. Example: company used Hong Kong file directly for China. Result: required full rework of technical dossier. Key lesson: poor planning doubles expansion cost. Part 7. Biggest mistakes. Mistake 1. Assuming Hong Kong equals China approval. Result: strategy failure. Mistake 2. Skipping China gap analysis. Result: major delays. Mistake 3. Copy-paste documentation. Result: rejection risk. Mistake 4. Weak distributor alignment. Result: market entry failure. Mistake 5. Ignoring clinical differences. Result: regulatory rejection. Key insight: Hong Kong is a bridge, but China requires its own foundation. Part 8. Final strategic takeaway. Smart strategy summary. Use Hong Kong as preparation hub. Align documentation early for China. Perform dual regulatory mapping. Build China-specific clinical strategy. Select distributors carefully. Avoid assumptions between systems. One powerful sentence: Hong Kong does not open China's regulatory door, but it helps you prepare the key to it. Planning to expand from Hong Kong into China medical device market? Don't let regulatory misunderstanding, poor documentation alignment, weak clinical strategy, wrong assumptions, delayed China submissions slow your growth. Why choose OMC Medical? Hong Kong and China regulatory expertise, MDACS and NMPA strategy support, clinical data alignment, technical documentation preparation, distributor strategy consulting, end-to-end Asia expansion support. Whether you're starting in Hong Kong or targeting China next, talk to OMC Medical experts today. If this video helped you understand how Hong Kong fits into China regulatory strategy, follow OMC Medical for more global regulatory insights, Asia market entry strategies, and medical device compliance guidance. See you in the next video.